Okay, so this is my second blog of making the album. So the last blog that I made, I said I was going to do 4 hours a day on my album, and apart from weekends, and I'd started on a Wednesday, I think, and then I didn't do Thursday or Friday. I can't remember quite why I didn't. I guess I'm just I'm in such momentum of kind of starting things and then not following through. I just didn't follow through, and then the weekend came and I had loads of gigs, and I just got into my sort of gigging routine, and then on Monday I kind of gave myself a day off because after all the gigs, and then Tuesday was today, and I did my work. It took me like a bit of time to amp myself up, but it was like I'd gotten to a point where I believe, like, I've been doing a lot of the transformation mastery exercises, releases, and I've been doing quite a lot of like this releasing, which is kind of like breath work, focusing. It really is just like focusing on what you're feeling, um, which seems like it should be easy to do, but for most people it's not, and for me it's not really. It's like it's unusual. Uh, it's like feeling, say, like you've got like regrets or just pockets of apathy or grief about things that have gone on in your life. They're causing a lot of the procrastination, and for me they definitely were, because when I started doing these more and more of these releases, and also combining it with watching the content to get other people's perspectives of what these releases do, I eventually got to the point where I was like, okay, let me just do the work. I'm not going to self sabotage anymore. And the other thing which is important is, as I'm working, is to not try and get away from the sensations that come up. Uh, which is like, it's almost like as I'm working, as I'm making progress on what I'm doing, I might get like quite intense little feelings like in my shoulder or like just around my body, which is almost like I'm making progress, and it's like getting out my comfort zone. So it makes these little sensations, and then sometimes in the past I would have mentally tried to get away from those emotions, and I still do. It's still a ingrained habit, but during the last 4 hours anyway, as I worked, I stayed with the uncomfortable feelings. Basically, I just spent 4 hours working on Cubase, and I didn't actually get that far in what I was doing, but I did. Um, Basically, I had to do a lot of like deleting files and like swapping files and like moving files around. It was kind of that real boring work of mixing, which is one of the reasons I procrastinate, because everything just seems so overwhelming to me. But if I'm okay with feeling whatever I'm feeling regarding overwhelm, then it doesn't have to stop me. So that was a really exciting feeling as I was doing this work. It's like I can actually just, even if I'm really, really, really overwhelmed, as long as I just carry on going and feel the feelings, and just they're gonna come up and they're gonna subside, just like all feelings. And it's much better than just escaping into a bad habit, which temporarily relieves you of the responsibility, but then it's not a long term strategy. So, just to finish, I'm going to say three lessons from today is the releases are helping a lot, but now I need to basically put my foot down in terms of procrastination no matter what, and just go with the sensations that I'm feeling. Although there will always be time to do releases, but releases should only kind of support your life. You shouldn't be spend your whole life doing releases, because that's not living, is it? And then the second lesson was today I had to really amp myself up into the mood to do it, which was a lot of like talking to myself and like moving around and like being in like a kind of anger empowerment feeling and getting that all amped up, which I usually go into the guilt, sorry, not guilt, the grief anger, which is like, oh, this is so hard, I should have done this, oh, I should have done this like months ago, and I've got all this other stuff to do, and I'm never, that is like a feeling you need to put your foot down on, and I need to do that. And and then the third lesson was, once I got started, I just told myself to stay with the sensations, and I did. As I made more progress, I felt the sensations get stronger, but I didn't resist them, and I made a little bit of progress, and I'm going to actually carry on and do another 4 hours now, because I just want to carry on. Uh, I'm in a good momentum now, so I'll make another blog when I finish the next 4 hours. Thank you.